we are heading to a place where the people who voted for Brexit are not going to get what they thought they were voting for in the referendum.
And this won't have settled anything.
Because they were sold.
They may have been sold a pup, Kevin.
That's why.
I have voted. I voted for governments and general elections, and where what I voted for did not materialise. Everybody votes and sometimes gets badly disappointed.
The trouble is, in those cases, you get a manifesto that you can hold that government accountable for. In this case, there was no manifesto, and you can't go back and say,
well, there was a manifesto.
This isn't what it said on the...
There was a manifesto. It couldn't have been clearer. We are coming out of the European Union lock, stock and barrel. No single market, no customs union. Taking our laws back. Taking our laws back.
That was part of Project Fear.
I heard David Cameron say customs union.
Fear on the Remain side. That's not the manifesto of the Leave side.
The British Prime Minister who called the referendum said we're coming out of the customs union.
That's not the manifesto on the Leave side.
Migration was the driver, and migration...
I agree.
Now Gove, Michael Gove, big pusher for Brexit, now regrets playing the Turkish card.
Listen, I agree with you. I agree with you that immigration was the driver, but I also remember very clearly the British Prime Minister who called the damn thing to start with, which I thought was a terrible mistake.
It was a tactical mistake.
But I remember him calling it, and I remember him a week before the election, crystal clear. We come out of the customs union, we come out of the single market, and there will be no second vote. This is it, he said.
Yeah, but he's not responsible for vote leave. He's not responsible for the Leave side.
He was the British Prime Minister who called the referendum. The referendum voted against him.
The worst Prime Minister.
I'm not arguing.
So this is my problem, Peter, with it all.
No, I agree with you on that point. The issue, however, is what is going to happen now. And all I'm asking of David Davis and Boris Johnson and Jacob Rees-Mogg and the rest of them, tell us honestly what your plan is.
Right.
And they have never done so.
OK.
Because they don't have one.
So how
and that's what I think the real problem is.
So you agree with Piers that it was crystal clear because the person on the Remain side promised it, but those people on the Leave side, you're saying there was no plan?
No, there wasn't. And I think that's what worries a lot of people now, and that's what's worrying people in the middle.
But we know what would happen, don't we? Know if we crash out without a deal, we go to WTO. We know what would happen. I mean, the plan is automatic.
Right, but can I just say...
And then we have to start doing new trade deals, which takes time.
But
and
Piers, then you have queues of lorries at Dover.
Of course there'll be a hit in the economy. There's been a hit on the economy anyway.
But then you
At the moment, our economy is struggling compared to other European countries because of uncertainty. It's not the underlying economics of the country. It's actually about uncertainty.
Hang on.
The city wants to know what the hell's going on.
Piers, I remember on the morning of the referendum result, being on Good Morning Britain with you and Susanna, and we were all astonished that Britain had gone from the 5th to the 6th biggest economy in the world, would fallen because the pound had gone down. So now it's largely recovered, but the inflation went into the system. It's one of the reasons living standards haven't been rising.
We're not in bad shape. We're just not.
And do you remember on that morning Nigel Farage saying that the voters have been sold a lie effectively on the money on the side of the bus?
By any yardstick, this country is not in bad economic shape. It's not. It's not in bad shape. Comparative to other periods of my lifetime, we are in perfectly reasonable shape. What we're not doing is seeing the growth we could be seeing if there was clarity here. And I just think they want clarity either way.
It's not just clarity.
And this whole thing that if we actually go over the cliff, it's the end of the world. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it.
Nobody's saying it's the end of the world.
They are saying it. They are. They're building it. My whole problem with this is the whole thing is being driven from a position of extreme negativity by a Prime Minister.
So what is their plan?
By a Prime Minister who voted Remain.
What is their plan?
And I voted Remain. I'm happy if we don't Brexit. But 17.5 million people are going to be furious.
You've said that a number of times. What is their plan?
Am I not right?
Keep saying it.
I want to know what their plan is. The Brexiteers, what is going to happen? They aren't telling us. Why don't
we put the Brexiteers in charge of all this?
Well, Dominic Raab, he's a Brexiteer and he's the Brexit secretary.
Why don't we have a Brexiteer Prime Minister? Right? Why don't we have a Boris, a Davis, a Gove, a Rees-Mogg, somebody who actually believes in this, trying to deliver on what they promised it would be for the country. And then if it fails, it fails. We take a hit. And then we say it didn't work.
Would they get it through? Would they get it through Parliament on votes?
No, and they don't agree amongst each other. Nope. It's why Michael Gove is trying to sell what's left of the Chequers deal. Why Boris Johnson and David Davis walked away from it.
Yep.
And Nigel Farage is then attacking Michael Gove. Look, just because they support Brexit, they don't all support the same Brexit. Right. That is the problem. There is no.
But not
Brexit
all the Remainers
blueprint.
support the same Remain.
No,
that's true as well.
So no one agrees with anyone about anything.
No, but when you
it is, as Danny Dyer said, a mad riddle.
No, but in the referendum,
no one's happy.
In the
I'm going on holiday.
You had
yes, get on with it. Fix it before I get back from holiday, please,
we accepted failings in the referendum, but you were promised the moon by the Brexit people.
Everybody promised the damn moon.
No, they didn't.
Some promised the moon. Some promised Armageddon. Yeah. Right. It was all nonsense.
And our economy isn't doing well.
Peter, are we right to start feeling the way I do, which is getting increasingly angry at the mess of what Brexit has
can't believe there is anyone who doesn't feel like that.
I'd have never imagined you getting angry, Peter.
No, but I really... I have felt a simmering rage about the incompetence of our political system to actually deliver on a referendum.
I think that's right. And I think when I said at the beginning, when you first asked me, and it's going to get worse, I think it is. Parliament's going to stagger from crisis to crisis. And what we don't have is serious government at a very critical time with Trump and all the rest of it, and Putin, and all the things that are going on in the world in the Middle East that are very, very serious. And we haven't got strong leadership.